Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mike Trout is hurt. He's getting surgery on Friday. Nobody else was available to do a podcast, so it's me, the Lone Star Halo, stepping up to the plate. Why? Because someone's got to do it. Why not me?
Hey, you are now listening or watching the Halos in the Infield podcast, sponsored in part by Noble L Works over on 1621 South St. Clair, where you can get discounts by just mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield. Drink discounts on us, baby. And also by 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets. The price you see is the price you get, and you also get 10% additionally off in the Apply Now code once you order your tickets just by mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield. Now enjoy the show.
Well, guys, I've got some bad news.
Oh, no! We suck again!
Yeah, we suck again. Why? Guys, Mike Trout is hurt, and he is going to require surgery. Now, as of right now, it is not projected to be season-ending, but it's going to be a lengthy injury. He has a torn meniscus, and all I know is we all got some
Emotional damage!
I promise we're not just going to sit here playing with the sound effects. But when you're doing a solo episode, you got to reach a little bit more, right? I mean, Roger Lodge makes a career saying, "Oh, well, head on over to OG's and make a right turn," or whatever the hell he says these days. I haven't listened to his show in a couple of years. But, guys, really, the worst news that could have happened, right? This team already is lacking star power, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with baseball and lacking star power. And that's the beauty in baseball. You don't need it to win. You really don't. I see that all the time. And a lot of people will disagree with that, right? Like, no, you need stars. Okay, you can certainly benefit from stars, but you need the right pieces in place. Now, I'm not going to say something naive like this team had the right pieces in place, because when you look up and down this roster, you see a bunch of AAA guys. And that's not necessarily wrong. But Zach Neto, Nolan Shanuel, like, these are guys that in theory should still be AA, AAA guys. And that's not an insult to them. That's just where they are in their development in an organization that has actual pieces in place. We're talking about guys that are in AA and AAA. And they're getting closer. Are they showing flashes of potential greatness in the minors? Absolutely. And I don't want to say that these aren't good players. We've seen some amazing things defensively out of Zach Neto. We have seen some great things offensively out of Nolan Shanuel. Logan O'Hoppy's doing well right now. But that doesn't change the fact that this team doesn't have it. Now, the only positive at this moment, and this is me grasping at straws, this is me grasping paper straws that are disintegrating in the ocean or in another body of water because they're paper. And for anyone who used paper straws, if it's in your soda for about 20 or 30 minutes, that thing starts getting soggy real quick. So, by the way, edible straws are a thing. They're called what are they called? I don't know, Sobos or something like that. And they are delicious. If you're like a big margarita person, they are very, very good. They taste like Sweet Tarts, the candy. But that's a topic for a different day. I tried getting them to sponsor the podcast a couple years ago. They didn't respond. So anyway, let me just say that me grasping at straws right now, the one positive thing out of all of this is the fact that these young guys get the opportunity to prove themselves, right? We don't have Mike Trout. We don't have Anthony Rendon. We don't have Shohei Ohtani. It is us against the world. Now, this could go two ways, okay? This is the beauty of baseball. They're going to sink or they are going to swim. But I don't think they're going to swim in terms of being successful. I think the best kind of success they can have right now is not drowning, right? I'm going to fix the red light here for anyone who's listening on audio. You're like, what's he doing? But if you're watching on YouTube, I forgot to turn on the lights before I started recording here in the man cave. But it's sink or swim time for these young guys. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. What version of Zach Netter are you going to get now? What version of Logan O'Hoppe are you going to get? How about Nolan Schanuel? This team has lacked a legitimate leader, and we can say whatever we want about Mike Trout and his ability on the field, and we'll get to that. But we've yet to truly see a vocal leader out of Mike Trout. Now, we see emotion out of Mike Trout all the time, and that reminds me, let's go ahead and either listen if you're listening on audio or watch the clip if you're on YouTube, and let's listen to what Mike Trout had to say when he was asked about his current injury situation.
Is that you're feeling right now?
It's tough. Don't know. I'll get through it.
Just at a loss for words for another big injury?
Yep. It's just frustrating. But we'll get through it.
What did you feel during the game last night?
It's crazy. I mentioned something in like the 7th, 8th inning to the guys in there just to give them a heads up, like just to make sure, you know, it wasn't nothing crazy. And, you know, it was just one of them things like my body was like, I wasn't feeling it hitting, I wasn't feeling it running. It was just sore. It was just kind of like I was kind of telling myself like maybe I just banged it on something and I didn't realize it. And then after the game, I was getting treatment and it was really sore. The plan was just to see how I felt in the morning. If you woke up and it was sore, just get it looked at, and you know that was the plan. And last night was tough for me to sleep. It was just aching all night, and woke up. I texted Frosty first thing and just said, yeah, I think I need to just get this looked at because I just want to clear my mind a little bit. And results came back just meniscus. So.
Do you know when you're going to have the surgery or possibly how long this might be for recovery?
I don't know. I've talked to a couple guys in there that's had it. You know, it's a pretty simple procedure, but I don't know when it'll be. I'm going to get it probably right away to get back as fast as I can. But just...
Okay, so look, I will say this about Mike Trout. That is a man who wants to be on the field. And we make fun of Anthony Rendon an awful lot, right? Because he shows up, he cashes in his checks, laughs all the way to the bank. He doesn't want to be there. He wants the seasons to be shortened. Say whatever you want about him being hot to start the year. But right before he got injured, he got hot, right? There was about a 10-ish game streak where he was on fire. But that is a man who doesn't necessarily appear that he wants to be on the field. Complete opposite of Mike Trout. And, you know, let me just say this about Anthony Rendon, right? We make fun of him, but I don't know for a fact that he doesn't want to be on the field. It's just, you know, his body language, the way he talks to the media about playing the game of baseball always kind of makes you think, this guy doesn't want to be here. And that's not Mike Trout at all, right? There's a guy who's getting choked up just talking. And that's the thing that's so frustrating. Something's wrong, right? Something's been wrong with Mike Trout since 2019. That was the last time he's played, 120 games even. So I don't exactly know what it is. Last year it was the back thing. A couple of years ago it was his wrist. So there's obviously something going on, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend to diagnose what's going on. It's tough. It really is. That's the only word that you could possibly use, and I already alluded to it. This is going to be time for these young guys to step up. We in no way, shape, or form expected this team to contend, and if you did, I think you're only lying to yourself. I'm not going to use the term halo honk, but a lot of you guys will. But you got to be realistic, right? This team is not in a rebuild situation. Partial rebuild's a term that I've used because I've heard it enough times, and I can buy that to an extent because they didn't make any flashy moves during the offseason, right? They improved the bullpen. That was about it. They didn't improve the starting rotation. They didn't improve the depth of the guys on this roster. I mean, we're in a situation right now where Cole Tucker is a major leaguer. And no disrespect to him, but he hasn't exactly earned it up to this point of his career. Yesterday, he had a great clutch hit. And that's what essentially put the Angels in an opportunity to win the game, right? It was insurmountable in that. Super important. If that hit didn't happen, we're probably talking about potentially not winning the game. Joe Adell, been on fire lately with the bat. It's going to be time for him to step up. Mickey Moniak, sorry, I'm talking before I finish my sentence. Mickey Moniak is a guy that right now it is his time to shine. Now, in 2017, when Mike Trout had his first major injury of his career, I believe that was the wrist year. Eric Young Jr., a guy who was essentially a nobody, right, came up and took the world by storm, had a Linsanity type run here for the Angels. He was Mike Trout while Mike Trout was hurt. So are the Angels going to get that out of one of these guys? We don't know who. You have two guys right now on the roster, now that Trout's out, who have all-star potential. You got Taylor Ward and you got Logan O'Hoppe. Now, Taylor Ward has had a lot of bad luck injuries the last couple seasons. And I am hoping, this is me knocking on wood, that he has a healthy year. But I'm not going to lie, there was a large part of me that wanted him traded at this trade deadline because he has a lot of value. He's not going to be here by the time the rebuild ends. And this team is perennial playoff contenders unless he's re-signed. So, with only a year or two left on contract, I think it was time to explore shipping him off and getting a pretty decent return, especially if he does make the All-Star team. That increases the value a little bit, right? Because this is a guy that at least could have been an All-Star one of the last 2 years because both times he's gotten hurt, he's been on fire. When he got a face injury and when he ran also into the wall with the face injury, this guy's face is just hurting. He's got to wear one of those like LeBron NBA kind of like face mask covers. You know what I'm talking about. The clear face mask things. He's got to wear one of those at this point. But my point is that's a guy that could be an all-star, right? And it's probably going to be him or Logan O'Hoppe or perhaps out of the box, maybe both of them. I think Logan O'Hoppe is probably going to be the all-star between those two for the simple fact of the marketability in it, right? Logan O'Hoppe, a lot of people are saying that he has the potential to be the face of the franchise for this next generation of Angels, and I can see that. A lot of potential, good player, appears to be a great leader. We've heard nothing but good things about him. But I think this stretch here over the next 2.5, 3-ish months, hopefully that's all it really takes Trout, and that's wishful thinking to come back. But the other thing I've heard from a friend of mine that I was texting to earlier, he's probably watching or listening. Shout out to you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. We were just saying, what's the point of Trout coming back? Let's just say it's the middle to end of August, right? We got about a month left of baseball. By this point, this team's going to be extremely out of contention. You can't even use the C word at that point. Contention doesn't exist in our dictionary as Angels fans at that point, most likely. So with that being said, are you really going to bring this guy back? Why? Why? Trout, take your time. Find the Lord, find your health. I don't know what you need to find. And that's, just kind of a bad joke. I mean, I believe the man is religious. There's nothing wrong with being religious. I'm religious. But something's got to change here, right? I don't think it's his workout regimen. I don't think it's the way he's taking care of his body. A lot of this stuff really is just bad luck. I mean, you heard that clip there. And actually, what we're talking about is injury. Let's listen to what Perry had to say. This is also courtesy of Valley Sports Bar.
Yesterday during the game, there's no individual play he felt it on. It was probably the third inning. So he kind of felt a little soreness in his knee. Obviously, he continued to played the rest of the game, ran the paces great. And after the game, got some treatment, and then woke up this morning, and the knee was pretty swollen. So ended up doing an MRI this morning, and he's got a torn meniscus. So he'll miss some time. Don't have a time frame. He will have surgery in the near future. Again, I don't have a specific time frame, but tough conversation to have with him. Obviously emotional, and somebody that loves playing, and it is what it is. And this team is not built on one player. It's not built on two players. We're gonna have to have some guys step up, and we talked about it today as a staff. This is where having a veteran manager, having a veteran coaching staff is going to really come in handy, and there's going to be plenty of opportunity for the guys we have here.
So Ron Washington and his staff now have their work cut out for them, right? You have to prove to the baseball world that these young guys are major leaguers. And that was always his job from the beginning, right? On a 2-year contract with his team, not expected to contend. The Super Halo Bros have used the term no expectations this year. And that's beautifully said, right? That was the case going in. And now, if you didn't have expectations about this season, well, now you can subtract about 25 points from having no expectations. So now you got to have below no expectations, because this team isn't going to do anything. If there was any shred of a chance at all about this team contending, that's out the window and down the fire escape now. There's nothing wrong with that per se, but I have to see something here. This is the opportunity that the young guys needed. There was no Trout. There was no Ohtani. There's no Rendon. It's over. All that is done. We don't know how long Rendon's going to be out for. Some people have used the term extended injury. We know that Trout's going to be out for an extended period of time. Obviously, Shohei's off being a Dodger, getting ready to lose in October. Great. We'll all enjoy that when it happens. And before the Dodger fans are in the comments, yep, we're going to be here watching on our couch if we are every single October. And don't worry, I've already booked my plane tickets to sitting my ass here in my man cave in October watching playoff baseball, because it won't be with our Angels. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, and even better, if you want to make fun of me, I won't even have the NHL. I won't even have my Coyotes this year to be depressed over come October. So, anyway, man, baseball just has a way, and sports in general just have a way of breaking your heart. Absolute tough luck opportunity here for the Angels. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Mike Trout here, okay? He's not going to be ever able to shake off those injury-prone accusations now, right? No matter which way you slice it or dice it, it's hard to imagine a world where Mike Trout is ever going to be healthy again for a full season. I'd like to think that he'll have an opportunity to play another full healthy season. And honestly, there was a short period of time where I thought this was it. He looked good for a little while. His average was down, and he was still having his mistakes, but we can't even say that anymore. He's out. He's hurt. He's getting surgery for his torn meniscus, and time will tell what happens from here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to wrap up about. I mean, that's really about it, guys. That's today's episode. It's a bit of a shorter one, but obviously that's what happens when you're going by yourself. Special thank you to 714 tickets, 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Call today, go tonight, whatever. And use the code HITI, H-I-T-I, at checkout for 10% off. And also 5% back for your future purchases. Not bad, huh? And then you can go over to Noble Ale Works and drink some good local brews. Mention Halos in the Infield for some drink specials, which we probably all need after this Mike Trout news. I'm going to be in Cleveland on Saturday watching whatever's left of this roster for that. And I will be in Pittsburgh on Monday trying to get Urinating Tree to come out of the game too. We'll see. I want to get my hopes up on that, but we'll see. We'll see what's out there. Either way, follow us on all of our social media, Halos in the Infield. I'll be posting about the stadiums there, hoping to do some vlogs on YouTube for that kind of stuff. But we will see what happens with that. If any of you guys are going to be there, go ahead and let us know. Reach out, say hi. Or if you're going to be here in Texas for that Rangers series, let me know, because I will probably be there on that Saturday. But that's going to do it out of us here at Halos in the Infield. And I think I have an appropriate way to play us out.